Welcome to the Sankofa Ancestor Shrine, where, every week, we invite spiritual Black folk to reconnect with our ancestors as we journey through the crossroads. Please consider donating through patreon.com/Sankofa Shrine. We pray to you, Mother Earth, to show you our appreciation. We are grateful for all that you provide for sustenance and creation. We pray to you, Mother Earth, to remind ourselves to be humble. Help us to remember we are a small part of a larger picture and how our actions impact the world beyond our own lives. We ask you to continue to teach us, sustain us, and allow us to take our place rightfully as caretakers of your bounty. Hetepu. All right, let's start with 3 deep cleansing breaths.
Hey Teru, you're beautiful. Hey Teru, your principles have touched my femininity. Hey Teru, you've blessed my heart
Hello and welcome to the Sankofa Ancestor Shrine. I'm your host, Sacred Woman Practitioner Tatami, and today we are going to do a little bit of reading. I had been hoping that I would be able to get some of the decks in the mail that I used the Patreon money to purchase. Thank you to all of my patrons, but the decks have not come in yet, so we are still waiting, sadly, unfortunately. And one of them has a book, the Hoodoo Tarot, I believe is what that one was called. And it does have a book. So I was hoping we could use that and do some stuff. But instead, today we're going to look at a different book that recently came into my possession called I Am That by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. And I thought that I really enjoyed how he explains things, the way he goes about really thinking about and seeing the world. So I thought it would be something that could really influence us as well. Uh, I'm going to start in the just chapter one on the first page. I was blown away from the beginning, y'all. So this one goes within, it's kind of like the questioner, and then the Maharaj explains. And so the questioner is kind of you and me, or just where thought might naturally progress as time goes on. And so, yeah, well, this is just a way for us to think about and receive answers from a different perspective here. On waking up, the experience runs. I am the body in the world. It may appear to arise in succession, but in fact, it is all simultaneous. A single idea of having a body in a world. Can there be the sense of I am without being somebody or other? It is a matter of daily experience that on waking up, the world suddenly appears. Where does it come from? Before anything can come into being, there must be somebody to whom it comes. All appearance and disappearance presupposes a change against some changeless background. Before waking up, I was unconscious. In what sense? Having forgotten or not having experienced. Don't you experience even when you're unconscious? Can you exist without knowing? A lapse in the memory, is it a proof of non-existence? And can you validly talk about your own non-existence as an actual experience? You cannot even say that your mind did not exist. Did you not wake up on being called? And on waking up, was it not the sense of I am that came first? Some seed consciousness must exist even during sleep or swoon. On waking up, the experience runs. I am the body in the world. It may appear to arise in succession, but in fact it is all simultaneous. A single idea of having a body in a world. Can there be the sense of I am without being somebody or other? I am always somebody with its memories and habits. I know no other I am. Maybe something prevents you from knowing. When you do not know something which others know, what do you do? I seek the source of their knowledge under their instruction. Is it not important to you to know whether you are a mere body or something else? Or maybe nothing at all? Don't you see that all of your problems are your body's problems? Food, clothing, shelter, family, friends, name, fame, security, survival. All of these lose their meaning the moment you realize that you may not be a mere body. What benefits is there to knowing that I am not the body? Even to say that you are not the body is not quite true. In a way, you are all the bodies, hearts and minds, and much more. Go deep into your sense of I am, and you will find it. How do you find a thing that you have mislaid or forgotten? You keep it in your minds until you recall it. The sense of being of I am is the first to emerge. Ask yourself whence it comes, or just watch it quietly. When the mind stays in the I am without moving, you enter a state which cannot be verbalized but can be experienced. All you need to do is to try and try again. After all, the sense I am is always with you. Only you have attached all kinds of things to it: body, feelings, thoughts, ideas, possessions. All of these self identifications are misleading. Because of them, you take yourself to be what you are not. Then what am I? It is enough to know what you are not. You need not know what you are. For as long as knowledge means description in terms of what is already known, perceptual or conceptual, there can be no such thing as self-knowledge, for what you are cannot be described except as total negation. All you can say is, I am not this, I am not that. You cannot meaningfully say, this is what I am. It just makes no sense. What you can point out as this or that cannot be yourself. Surely you cannot be something else. You are nothing perceivable or imaginable. Yet without you, there can be neither perception nor imagination. You observe the heart feeling, the mind thinking, the body acting. The very act of perceiving shows that you are not what you perceive. Can there be perception or experience without you? An experience must belong. Someday, somebody must come and declare it as his own. Without an experiencer, the experience is not real. It is the experiencer that imparts reality to the experience. An experience which you cannot have, of what value is it to you? The sense of being an experiencer, the sense of I am, is not also an experience. Obviously, everything experienced is an experience, and in every experience there arises the experiencer of it. Memory creates the illusion of continuity. In reality, each experience has its own experiencer, and the sense of identity is due to the common factor at the root of all experiencer experience relations. Identity and continuity are not the same. Just as each flower has its own color, but all colors are caused by the same light, so do many experiences appear in the undivided and indivisible awareness, each separate memory, identical in essence. The essence is the root, the foundation, the timeless and spaceless possibility of all experience. How do I get at it? You need not get at it, for you are it. It will get at you if you give it a chance. Let go your attachment to the unreal, and the real will swiftly and smoothly step into its own. Stop imagining yourself being or doing this or that, and the realization that you are the source and heart of all will dawn upon you. With this will come great love, which is not choice or predilection or attachment, but a power which makes all things love worthy and lovable. Okay, so I thought that this was a really profound passage. So I don't necessarily, I would say, agree 100% with everything that's here. I would have to, think about a lot of these things further, because sometimes his language is like, what do you mean by this? But I think this overall idea of being, of understanding, of being in this present moment, wherein you understand that your experiences, those things that you're doing every day, one, that they're enough, that they are, that your purpose is fine doing what you're doing, and that you being you, experiencing those things as they come through, each of those is a divine sacred moment. It's something to be cherished, is something to be understood as really an essence of life. And so this idea that you don't have to be constantly yearning, constantly, manifesting and trying to strive to be doing and being and having to these other extents, where in essence you can be really in tune with the inside moment of right now, really in tune with what your goals are right now, with what your, spiritual, what have you, but also just being really in tune with what's actually going on around you, and how this is enough, and how this is something special for you to be focusing on and putting your energy into. I also really like, so yeah, anyways, I really liked that part. Without an experiencer, the experience is not real. You are the most important part of all this, not all of the trappings around you. I also thought it was very interesting when he was pointing out how much our body really does rule basically what we do all the time. And I think it goes to really show that one, your body is your altar, right? Your body, it has such a huge connection to everyone and everything and all of your decisions, whether they are to, eat, who your family is, what your thought process is, right? Even though your chosen family is people who you have gut instincts about, or who, you trust, or who you have some sort of attraction to because of their way of doing this, or their, you know what I'm saying? We're always being led by what our body is up to. And I think that's so profound of a realization, because like I said, your body is your altar, and taking that time to bless it, to be in tune with it, to focus on inward onto this is so important, because most of the time we are just expanding outward and doing all these other things and trying to make ourselves into something else and elevate to where other people are, and seeing ourselves in a different place at a different time, etc., instead of seeing ourselves in this here and now, in this experience that we're having right now. um and I also found it was really interesting, the portion where they were talking about when you're asleep, how you're not really totally, gone. There are so many things that you can still be conscious about, obviously, when you really think about it. But yes, letting go of the attachment to the unreal and the real will swiftly and smoothly step into its own. If you let go of a lot of these unreal things, you do give a little more room for reality, good reality, abundant reality to step into that thing's place. And because you're not necessarily trying to go strictly down somebody else's path, right? I think we all have like habits of doing this. I've talked about this before, especially in my Queen Afwa's Journey is Not Your Journey video. Um, it just is, it's one of those habits, maybe, or it's kind of like a gut reaction, especially in a society like this, where everybody wants to be unique, but they also want to be like uniform, but they like, you don't want to be too weird. And like, so people find themselves latching on to another person's aesthetic journey, schooling, what have you, and being like, that's what I've got to do, that's what I've got to be, I've got to be this, do this and this, and then I can be like this person, do this thing. And I've definitely been there, like, I want to say 4 years ago, like, that was definitely where my mind was at. And I finally came to that realization that you can't just be like strictly trying to put yourself on somebody else's path. You've really got to find a way to get down your own path. You've really got to find a way to focus on your own thing, do your own thing, and really accept your journey as it is, and be interested in that, be interested in whatever that adventure is that is your own uniquely. Because it's never going to happen the same for somebody else, especially when let go of a lot of these expectations, or feeling like that's the only way to get to your destination, and recognize that your ancestors have their own way of working that's a little different than other people. Your situation, your location is different than other people, so you're just going to be going through different things than other people go through. And it's not a big ass deal, it just is what it is. You have to be able to be excited for what your own path is, and to be courageous a little bit to be able to do, your own path. I think it can be scary sometimes to try and like blaze your own trail or whatever, but it's necessary. The same way those people you admire, launched into these amazing, adventures of their lives, and created and worked and did all of these things that have inspired you. It's okay to be able to do that type of thing on your own, and not feel like, yeah, it has to be exactly the same, or followed exactly the same as what they've done. So this sense of I am, I think, was really interesting, because I think sometimes we forget how closely linked we, like, the I am inside of us is to the outside body, but and how these things can work together, and how we can, become more content and live so fully in the moment that we are constantly creating a better future just by doing that alone, just by being attached to the world around us as it is. All right. Thank you so much for watching with me today. I am hoping if those card decks come in one or the other in the next few days, I'll definitely be making an extra video so we can have that. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you again. Special thank you to the patrons who make buying things possible. I have a few books in my cart for the next upcoming month. I'm really excited about those books too. They are some really good, earth, nature, written by some really excellent sisters. One of them, I think, is a historian. The other one, I'm not even sure. I'm not even going to say it because I don't remember. But I remember reading their biographies and reading the synopsis of these books. And I was like, we need those for the shrine so we can do some studies together. Okay, so anyways, you have a wonderful week. May your ancestors and spirit guides be with you at every crossroads, and I will see you next time.